to my tutorial on the prime and composite chart. If you don't know what prime and composite numbers are, you might want to go back and look at my tutorial, Prime and Composite Numbers, just so you have a really good understanding of what those two terms mean. In this tutorial, we're going to be making a chart that helps us figure out every number 1 through 100 and if it's prime, composite, or neither. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we make our chart, let's go ahead and make sure we cover a couple terms that you'll need to know. The first term is factors. Factors are the numbers that you multiply to get a number. So if we wanted to know the factors for 4, what numbers can you multiply to get 4? 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. So the factors for the number 4 are 1, 2, and 4. Remember, if we have a double, you only ever count it 1 time. Now, multiples are a little different. If I wanted to know the multiples of the number 4, that's the answer to multiplication problems of a certain number. So if that number is 4, you would start off 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4, 16. The answers to these multiplication problems are multiples. When we start our chart, we're going to be talking about multiples a lot, so I wanted to make sure you knew that's the answers to multiplication problems of a certain number. All right, let's get going with our chart. To get started with our chart, all you'll need is a 100s chart. We have 5 simple steps to follow to make sure you have all your prime and composite numbers sorted out. Our first step is to X out the 1. If you remember, prime numbers have exactly 2 factors, and composite numbers have more than 2 factors. So 1 only has 1 factor, and it doesn't fit into either of those categories. So that's why we need to cross it out. Our next step says to circle the 2 and then color all of the multiples of 2. The reason we're circling 2 is because it's a prime number. In this chart, we'll be circling all of our prime numbers. The only things you can multiply to get 2 are 1 and 2, 1 times 2. Then we're going to color all the multiples of 2 because all of those numbers are composite. So 2 times 1 we already have, and that's a prime number. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. And I'm starting to see a pattern here. Every single even number is a multiple of 2. So the easiest way to go ahead and color all those numbers is just to color all the even numbers. So go ahead and color all the 2's, all of the 4's, all the 6's, all the 8's, and all the 10's. Our next step says to circle 3 and color all the multiples of 3. Our next prime number is 3. The only way to get 3 is 1 times 3. Now to color all the multiples of 3, we're going to follow a pattern. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, already colored, 1, 2, 3, color it. So this is what I mean. 1, 2, 3, already colored. If you think about that, 3 times 2 is 6. So that's the first multiple of 3. 1, 2, 3, color it. That's a multiple of 3 that has not been colored. 1, 2, 3, already colored. 1, 2, 3, color it. 1, 2, 3, already colored. 1, 2, 3, color it. This will be the whole pattern all the way down. 1, 2, 3, already colored. 1, 2, 3, color it. 1, 2, 3, already colored. 1, 2, 3, color it. 1, 2, 3, already colored. 1, 2, 3, color it. I'm going to speed it up now. Now we've gotten to 99. This is a tricky step because sometimes we start miscounting or we get a little too fast. So the test for this is the first number you color is going to be 9, and the last number you color is going to be 99. So typically if you do that, then you're good to go. If you haven't done that, you're going to need to start over. Our next step says to circle 5 and color all the multiples of 5. So we're going to go ahead and circle that 5. 5's a prime number. Only 1 times 5 will give you 5. And then we're going to color all the multiples of 5. This is an easy step because the only multiples of 5 that there are end in either a 5 or a 0, like when you're counting by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on. Now the thing is, all the 10s have already been colored because they're also multiples of 2. So the only thing that's left to do is to finish coloring out the 5s that have not already been colored. And now all the multiples of 5 have been colored. They're all composite. Our last step is to circle 7. This is the last prime number that you really need to know off the top of your head. 1 times 7 gives you 7. Now, most of the multiples of 7 have already been colored by coloring the multiples of 2, 3, or 5. There are only 3 multiples of 7 that are left. If you memorize those numbers, you'll be good to go. 49, 77, and 91. Those are the only remaining multiples of 7. What you're now left with are all the composite numbers colored, and all the remaining numbers are the rest of the prime numbers. We've already circled 2, 3, 5, and 7, and now we just need to circle the rest. If you follow these 5 steps in order, you will have all of the numbers 1 through 100, and if they're prime, composite, or neither. Let's go ahead and look at the big picture. All of our prime numbers are circled. All of our composite numbers are colored. There are 25 prime numbers from 1 to 100. So when you finish this chart, you just need to count all your circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We have all 25 prime numbers circled. If you were to have a question that said, is 53 prime or composite? You could look at your chart, it's circled, you know it's prime. If they ask a question like, is 87 prime or composite? You could look at it, it's colored, so it's composite. An easy way to remember composite are colored. So that's just a little trick to remember that. Let's go ahead and get some practice in. I'm going to let you look at this chart. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can determine if the numbers listed are prime or composite. The purpose of making this chart is so that when asked to determine if a number is prime or composite, it's very easy for you to look and see if it's circled, then it's prime. If it's colored, it's composite. Or if it's X'd out, it's neither. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and after a few times practicing this chart, you'll be a pro. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.